So what does a Rocket League coach actually do? Well, in this video, I'll show you my process for coaching a player and how I find faults and help that player try to fix them. First, I like to see a match replay, then I can analyse the player and figure out what they need to improve. I will then create a training routine for them so they can work on their weaknesses. Now, I will point out that every coach is different, and this is just an insight into my methods. The player we're going to be coaching is a Plat 2, so without further delay, let's get into the replay. So one of the very first things I notice is that the positioning isn't great, they're not sure where to be, they're driving around trying to find a useful position. But it's not about just pointing out mistakes. They notice when they have time on the ball and they're using that time to try and create something. But again, another example of not being in the right position, not knowing where to be. Now one thing I like to remember is the rank of the player. So when I see him go out for an aerial like this, you're not going to expect him to go out for an aerial like a pro player would. So it won't be constructive for me to be critical on mechanics because that will come with time, that just comes with practice. I'm also looking for how they keep momentum, if they break momentum. So you see here they're just going back and forth. You always want to be keeping your car moving. So that's another thing I will note down and try to help the player fix. And again, another example of them being patient leads to a goal. And that's always a good thing to point out because it shows if you play smart, then good things are going to come from it in your games. One thing you have to get down early is a good kickoff, and you really don't have to do anything special on kickoff, you just have to make sure you get good contact with the ball. Now there's playing patient and smart, and there's just being too cautious. And knowing when to do which normally comes with time, but I would say the main thing is to be confident, is to know when you can win the ball and to go for it without hesitation. And I always say rotate back post. This is a good example of why if you don't rotate back post, you lose your momentum and you put yourself in a bad position. One vital aspect of the game is awareness, and if more than one of you keep going for the kickoff, you might get lucky sometimes, but a lot of the time you're going to get punished for it. And that's why you have to be aware of how your teammates play and what they're doing at all times. One thing I'm always mentioning is rotate behind the play, and this is why, because otherwise you just get in your teammate's way. So although this time it ended up being a goal, next time you get in the way of your teammate, you might mess him up and this goal might not happen. So one of the biggest problems I see this player having is uncertainty, not knowing when or when not to go for the ball. They're very static at times, and their indecision leads to conceding a lot of goals. So one thing you struggled with was momentum and keeping your car moving. And one simple way that we can fix that is every day you play, you want to jump into free play training and you just want to drive around without hitting the ball. Things you want to be looking to do is keeping your car supersonic without using boost, and you want to try and put your car in awkward situations and work on your recoveries. You need to learn how to half flip and you need to learn how to wave dash. Now the first wave dash that you want to learn is the one coming off the wall like you see me doing in the video, and I've picked out what I feel is a good half flip and wave dash tutorial. You can find those links in the description, so make sure you check that. And the next thing we need to work on is your rotation back to goal. Now a good way to do this is to take off unlimited boost in free play, and then you want to drive around following the small pads. This will help you get in the habit of picking up small pads on your way back to goal, because you'll find a lot of the time you'll go out for the big boost, when if you just went for the small pads you would still get as much boost, but your route to goal will be a lot quicker. And the one route you want to become familiar with is taking this line of pads to the back post. Now obviously a training session would usually last up to an hour, and that can sometimes only be the first session, but for the sake of keeping this video short, we will move on to a training pack specifically designed for this player's needs. You can see the code on the right if you want to download this yourself, and I will also leave the code in the description of this video. So with this first save, you don't want to be rushing across the box to get to it, you want to rotate towards the back post and then you want to hit the ball into the corner. The purpose of this save is to get you coming in at a good angle to make sure you get a good clear. Now this second save is to get you in the habit of going to the backboard when you've got the opportunity. You need to get consistent in getting the ball to the corner and not letting it drop in front of your goal. You also never want to cut into a ball like this, because then you have no control on where the ball's going to end up. Now the third save is an awkward one because you're going backwards, but aim to save the ball to the corner. And of course the only thing you don't want to do here is miss the ball. Save number 4 will give you a good opportunity to use that half flip you've been practicing. It's a good example of how half flip can save you time and give you a lot more control over your save. And with this final save of the pack, it's just a reminder to keep training fun. But this will also teach you that sometimes when you're in an awkward position, you just have to be a little bit creative. Now, getting good at Rocket League is a lot more simpler than what you might think, and I hope this video showed how having a coach will fast track your improvement and get you quicker results. So with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, then please hit the like button because it helps me out massively. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.